Welcome back to Book Dive. Ready for a quick boost of insight to energize your morning commute?
Always.
Today we're diving into the Celestine Prophecy.
Okay.
Familiar territory for many of you, I'm sure,
Hmm?
but we're going beyond the surface,
Right.
extracting those aha moments you might have missed the first time around.
I like it.
We're working with excerpts from the book itself, so no interpretations,
Hmm.
straight to the source.
Love it.
Expert speaker, are you ready to unearth some hidden wisdom?
Absolutely. What I find fascinating about the Celestine Prophecy is how it packages these, deep spiritual concepts into an adventure story.
Yeah.
Makes it a much easier pill to swallow than, say, a dry philosophy text.
Right. Like who doesn't love a good treasure hunt? And in this case, the treasure is ancient wisdom.
Exactly.
The story kicks off with our protagonist learning about this mysterious manuscript in Peru.
Okay.
9 insights into the meaning of life. Talk about a high-stakes scavenger hunt.
And the book cleverly uses synchronistic events, those meaningful coincidences that seem to happen when you're on the right track, to draw the reader in. It's like
Yeah.
the universe is nudging you to pay attention.
Yeah.
This aligns perfectly with the first insight, which is all about becoming aware of a greater spiritual unfolding in our lives.
He ends up on this wild journey through Peru, meeting all these intriguing characters who each embody different insights.
Yeah,
Like each encounter is a masterclass in personal growth, right?
exactly. And this is where the book introduces the concept of energy stealing.
Okay.
Basically, we unconsciously use these control dramas to manipulate and get energy from each other.
Okay.
Remember those power struggles we talked about in our last episode on codependency? It's
Yeah.
kind of like that.
Okay, hold on. Control dramas.
Yeah,
Fill me in, do I have one?
probably.
I bet everyone listening is now wondering if they have a control drama.
The book describes 4 main types. The intimidator, who uses aggression. The interrogator, who subtly undermines the aloof, who withdraws to create mystery. And the poor me, who plays the victim.
Oh, wow.
The key takeaway is recognizing these patterns in ourselves and others.
Yeah.
And the book emphasizes that these dramas stem from a lack of connection to a higher source of energy.
So instead of feeding off each other's energy, we should be plugging into like a universal power source. I'm trying to picture that. Do I need special adapters?
No need for adapters. Think of it as tapping into an unlimited wellspring of energy that's available to everyone.
Okay.
But here's the catch. These control dramas block us from accessing that source.
So if I'm constantly in drama mode, I'm basically running on an empty tank and trying to siphon gas from everyone around me. Not a great look. The book describes actually seeing energy fields around people and plants. Mind-blowing stuff.
And this is where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
The book suggests that our thoughts and intentions can directly impact the physical world. That's the essence of the third insight, which challenges our conventional understanding of reality.
Yeah.
If we can influence plant growth with focused attention, imagine what we could do with our own energy.
Whoa. Okay, got to take a minute to process that.
Yeah.
Mind officially blown. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're enjoying this deep dive into the Celestine Prophecy. We love seeing your comments and questions.
Yes, please do.
So we're getting a glimpse of this interconnected web of energy and how our actions ripple outward. But let's get back to these control dramas for a second.
Okay.
The book dives into how we unconsciously compete for energy with each other using these patterns we developed in childhood.
Yeah.
There are intimidators,
Interrogators.
tormies. Was I aloof in that last meeting?
Perhaps.
Oh, no.
But don't worry, the book provides a framework for understanding these dynamics and breaking free from them.
Okay.
It's not about blaming ourselves or others, but becoming more aware of how we're showing up in our interactions.
Right. Awareness is the first step. But how do we move from awareness to action? Is there like a controlled drama detox program in the book?
It's not a quick fix, but the book provides tools and strategies.
Okay.
The key is to understand the underlying needs these dramas are trying to meet, and then find healthier ways to fulfill those needs.
Okay.
Remember, it's about shifting from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset, connecting to that higher source of energy that's always available.
Sounds like a major paradigm shift. And I'm guessing this shift plays a big role in the overall message of the book, right? What happens when we start to break free from these control dramas?
That's where things get really exciting.
Okay.
The book suggests that when we release these energy-draining patterns, we become more receptive to the flow of coincidences, those synchronicities that guide us on our spiritual path. It's like we're tuning into a higher frequency, a more harmonious way of being.
Okay, I'm starting to get it.
Yeah.
So we're not just reading about these insights, we're actually meant to experience them. But how do we go from intellectual understanding to embodied wisdom? That's where I get stuck sometimes.
The book doesn't shy away from the challenges of spiritual growth.
Okay.
It acknowledges the resistance we might encounter from others and even from within ourselves.
Yeah.
The old patterns die hard. But it also offers encouragement and guidance.
Right.
It's like having a wise mentor whispering in your ear, reminding you to trust the process, to stay open to the possibilities.
And that's what makes the Celestine Prophecy so compelling.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just a theoretical framework. It's a practical guide for navigating the ups and downs of spiritual awakening.
Yeah.
But we've only just scratched the surface. There's so much more to uncover.
Absolutely. We're just getting started.
Stay tuned for part 2.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the Celestine Prophecy.
Back for more.
We just left off talking about how the book encourages us to not just understand these insights, but really live them.
Right.
So how do we apply these concepts to our everyday lives?
That's the million-dollar question, right?
Yeah.
It's one thing to read about spiritual principles, but quite another to put them into practice.
For sure.
Especially when life throws us curveballs. Like, what happens when we encounter those people who seem determined to stay stuck in their control dramas?
That's where the sixth insight steps in.
Okay.
To provide a more nuanced understanding of these control dramas.
Okay.
It reminds us that these patterns often originate in childhood as coping mechanisms, ways of navigating those early power dynamics.
So it's not about blaming ourselves or others,
Right.
but understanding the root cause of these behaviors.
Precisely. And by recognizing the underlying needs these dramas are trying to fulfill, we can begin to find healthier and more fulfilling ways to meet those needs. Remember, everyone is on their own journey, and some folks might be a little further behind on the path to self-awareness.
Okay, so we need to approach these situations with a bit more compassion and understanding.
Exactly.
But how do we avoid getting sucked into their dramas? Like, how do I set boundaries without becoming the intimidator?
That's a great question. The book suggests that one of the most powerful ways to break free from these energy-draining dynamics is to avoid mirroring or engaging in the other person's control drama. Instead, try to stay centered in your own energy, offering compassion without getting entangled in their negativity.
Okay, so it's about being the calm in the storm, the steady presence.
Yes.
But let's be real, it's not always easy to stay zen when someone's pushing your buttons.
Right.
Any tips for maintaining that inner peace?
The book emphasizes the importance of cultivating a strong connection to that higher source of energy we talked about earlier. The more we're plugged into that wellspring of peace and abundance, the less we're swayed by external drama. It's like having an invisible shield that deflects negativity.
So it's an inside job, as they say.
Yeah.
But it's also about how we relate to others. Right?
Yeah.
That brings us to the seventh insight,
Okay.
which focuses on the transformative power of love.
Love it.
And I don't mean romantic love, but that deeper sense of connection and compassion.
Exactly. The book describes love as a state of being, a way of seeing the world that recognizes the divine spark in everyone, even those who are challenging us.
Okay, that's a high bar.
Yeah.
How do we cultivate that kind of love, especially when we're dealing with difficult people or situations?
It starts with a shift in perspective.
Okay.
Instead of focusing on the other person's flaws or negative behaviors, try to see them through the lens of compassion.
Okay.
Remember, everyone is carrying their own burdens, their own wounds.
So it's about having empathy, recognizing that everyone is fighting their own battles.
Yes.
But does that mean we have to tolerate bad behavior?
Not at all. Setting boundaries is crucial. But it's about setting those boundaries from a place of love, not judgment or punishment. It's about communicating your needs clearly and respectfully, while also acknowledging the other person's perspective.
So it's about finding that delicate balance between compassion and firmness.
Exactly.
I'm starting to see how these insights build upon each other, creating a roadmap for healthier relationships and a more fulfilling life.
And that leads us to the eighth insight, which takes these concepts a step further and introduces the idea of a conscious interpersonal ethic. It's about recognizing that our interactions have a profound impact, not just on ourselves, but on the people around us and the world as a whole.
Wow, that's a big responsibility. So it's not just about being nice, but about actively contributing to a more evolved and harmonious world.
Exactly.
But how do we practice this interpersonal ethic in a world that Often feels chaotic and divided. Any practical tips?
The book suggests that one of the most powerful ways to practice this ethic
Uh-huh.
is to consciously project positive energy onto others. It's about offering genuine appreciation, encouragement, and support, even in small ways.
Okay, so it's about shifting from judgment and criticism to kindness and affirmation.
Yes.
But what about those times when we're feeling drained or negative ourselves? How do we give to others when our own cup feels empty?
That's where self-care comes in.
Okay,
Remember, we can't pour from an empty cup.
yeah.
The book emphasizes the importance of nurturing our own well-being
Hmm.
so we can show up for others with a full heart and a clear mind.
Right,
It's like putting on your own oxygen mask first before assisting others.
right. Self-care isn't selfish, it's essential.
Exactly.
And I'm guessing that this whole idea of conscious evolution plays a big role in the ninth insight,
Yes.
which we'll be exploring in part 3.
Yes,
It feels like we're building towards something truly transformative.
absolutely. The ninth insight offers a vision of what's possible when humanity embraces these spiritual principles and steps fully into its evolutionary potential.
Okay.
Stay tuned for part 3, where we'll dive into the details of this inspiring vision and explore how we can all play a role in creating a more conscious and fulfilling future.
Welcome back to Book Dive. We're wrapping up our deep dive into the Celestine Prophecy with the grand finale, the ninth insight.
Okay.
We've talked about synchronicities, energy dynamics, and the transformative power of love. But where does it all lead?
Well, where does it all lead?
Expert speaker,
Yeah.
what's the ultimate destination on this journey of spiritual awakening?
Well, the ninth insight paints this picture of a future shaped by these spiritual principles.
Okay.
A future where humanity embraces its evolutionary potential and creates a world based on harmony, cooperation, and spiritual awareness.
Okay.
Imagine a society where competition and scarcity fade away, replaced by collaboration and abundance.
That sounds pretty utopian. But how do we get from where we are now with all the conflict and division to that kind of world? Is it even realistic?
The book suggests that it starts with each individual embracing these insights and living them out in their daily lives. It's about becoming more aware of our energy, our intentions, and the impact we have on others. As more and more people awaken to their spiritual nature, the collective consciousness begins to shift, creating a ripple effect of positive change.
So it's a grassroots movement, a collective awakening.
Exactly.
Well, what does that actually look like in practice? What are the tangible signs that we're moving towards this evolved future?
The ninth insight offers some clues.
Okay.
It suggests that as we evolve spiritually, we become more attuned to our intuition, our interconnectedness, and our purpose in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
We start to see beyond the illusions of separation and recognize our shared humanity.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But how does that translate into concrete changes in the world? What does this evolved society actually look like? Give me the highlights.
So the ninth insight paints a picture of a world where technology is used to enhance human well-being and promote sustainability, where economic systems are based on cooperation and shared abundance, and where education focuses on developing the whole person, mind, body, and spirit. It's a world where people live in harmony with nature, where diversity is celebrated, and where conflict is resolved through dialogue and understanding.
Wow, that's quite a departure from the world we live in now.
Yeah.
But it's a vision that definitely sparks hope.
All right.
What's one concrete step we can take today to start moving in that direction? What's one action that embodies the spirit of the ninth insight?
The book emphasizes that we are not passive observers in this evolutionary process, but active participants. Every choice we make, every action we take contributes to shaping the future.
Yeah.
One powerful step we can take today is to consciously choose love over fear in our interactions, to practice compassion, empathy, and understanding, even when it's challenging.
Okay, so choose love over fear. That's a powerful reminder and a great way to wrap up our deep dive into the Celestine Prophecy.
Yes.
This book offers a profound vision of what's possible when we embrace our spiritual potential
Yeah.
and commit to creating a more conscious and evolved world.
Yeah.
This has been such an inspiring conversation. I feel like I have a whole new perspective on the book.
Me too.
If any of our listeners are feeling inspired to dive into the Celestine Prophecy themselves, we've got an affiliate link in the episode description where you can snag a copy.
Yes, and if you've already read the book, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and share which insight resonated with you the most.
Thanks for joining us on this journey of exploration. Until next time, keep seeking those synchronicities, keep evolving, and keep shining your light.